I'm here with the president of Golden Boy Promotion, Eric Gomez. How you doing, Eric?
Good, I'm good, thank you.
So, Eric, I see you in Texas probably every other year or every couple years or so. And I remember back in 2016 when you guys came out here with Canelo, and we talked about all the young talent you guys were signing up. I think I referred to them as like the next Oscar De La Hoyas, all the young Hispanic talent.
Yes.
4 years later, it seems like that is starting to pay off.
Yeah, it's been a few years of hard work and building these fighters, getting them the experience that they need, developing their skill. We're excited now that they're at that level now to be able to fight the meaningful fights, the championship fights, and it's something that's very exciting for us.
Obviously, Canelo has moved on, although Oscar did mention to me yesterday that he can envision working with Canelo again. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, look, we're open. We're open. We feel that we're open to work with anybody. If there's the right situation or the right fight, the right promotion, why not?
The guy you got fighting tomorrow night, King Ryan Garcia, he's got that superstar quality. When I asked Oscar about him being the Oscar 2.0, Oscar said 5.0. How big of a star can Ryan Garcia become?
I mean, he's already a big star. He's got the attention of a lot of young boxing fans, a lot of fans in general. But it all starts with the ring. If he has a great performance on Saturday, which we're expecting, the sky's the limit. The sky's the limit for him, and he's got the style to make exciting fights. He's got the personality, the charisma. The sky's the limit.
And how tough is his opponent? Because obviously he seems to be a little bit disrespected, Luke Campbell, and we know he's not a slouch. I mean, you know boxing, been in this business a long time. I mean, how tough of a fight is it for Ryan?
From all the fighters that we were looking at in the lightweight division, Luke Campbell's probably the toughest. Because of his style. He's a tall kid. He's lanky. Got a very good jab, southpaw. It's going to be a tough fight. But it's a type of fights that Ryan needs, and he has to win in order to become a champion. So we're excited for him.
Assuming he gets by, and when he gets by tomorrow night against Luke Campbell, there's been a lot of talk about him and Haney. Obviously, they had a lot of fights in the amateurs. And I asked Ryan about it, if they had a beef, and he said they didn't have a beef at all, that they actually texted that day. So I don't know if Ryan was just messing with me or not, but would Devin Haney be the next guy up?
That's a possibility. I mean, Ryan's in a unique situation where he can pick and choose opponents. You have world champions that are calling out Ryan, which is, it's something that rarely happens. That's one of the guys we've talked about. But then there's some other guys that are out there as well. Some of the other champions that Ryan's interested in. He's got a lot of good competition to pick from. So it's a matter of getting the win on Saturday, and then we sit down as a team and we'll pick out what's next.
And also, when I was talking to Oscar, nobody knows what it's like to be a superstar more than Oscar. And you've been with Oscar, since you guys were kids. How do you see Ryan balancing, kind of the boxing, and then, he's such a big social media star. We're in a different time than when Oscar was the superstar of boxing. How do you see Ryan kind of balancing the stardom?
Good. Good. Look, he's handling it now. He's got a good team around him. He's got Oscar that's a mentor, and he can, ask for advice. I think that, he's doing a really good job right now. As long as he's true to boxing, he knows that comes first, that the training comes first. He doesn't take any shortcuts. That's what's key. That's what's going to keep the discipline. As you know very well, boxing is a very difficult, disciplined sport. So he has that already in him. The hard work, the training, the dieting. And if he treats the rest of his business that way, he's going to be okay.
Now, I can't talk to you, Eric, with you coming here to DFW with a guy out of Fort Worth by the name of Vergil Ortiz.
Yes.
Such high hopes for him. A lot of people, including, Golden Boy, said he's the future star, pound for pound guy in boxing. What are your thoughts on Vergil? And heading into 2021, can we expect him in possibly a title fight or a big name fight?
Yeah, I mean, he's right there. You know, he's in the same position as Ryan. He's ready for the world championship type fights or a big marquee name type fight. We're working on right now, currently, on a March return for him. Yeah, we're gonna look to get a good opponent for him, someone that's ranked, you know, highly in all the organizations, someone that has some sort of name. But he's knocking at the door. He's ready for some sort of eliminator or a regional title fight, something that's going to get him closer to that world title.
It's no secret that you guys love Texas. You know, you guys should open another headquarters out here with all the with all the talent you guys have recruited recently, and great talent, by the way. What, you know, when I was talking to Oscar about Ryan and maybe Virgil kind of you know, sharing a Cowboy Stadium affair, he even said maybe they fight down the road. Down, you know, far down the road. But can you envision a fight with those guys, 100,000 people at Jerry World?
That would be incredible, and that's something that obviously we've thought about. And down the line, yeah, I mean they can potentially fight each other. You know, Virgil's growing also. I mean, he's a big kid. I don't know how much longer he can stay at welterweight. Ryan's growing. I don't know how much longer he'll be at lightweight, but if there's a way to keep them right around the same vicinity, we'll see.
What about Spence Ortiz? Spence, obviously from Dallas. You got Virgil from Fort Worth or Grand Prairie area. They actually were at the same gym together when Virgil was much younger.
Yes.
What did you think of Spence's comeback first, and then what about those two maybe in the next year or two?
Well, Spence looked good in his comeback. There's a lot of questions because of the accident, but he did very good. He looked good. He looked solid. I mean, look, that's one of the guys that Virgil wants to fight. He would love to fight Spence, and you know, if we can make that fight, why not? Why not? I mean, Virgil wants to fight the best, and he wants to be the best. So those are the type of fights he should be thinking of. So we're excited. We're excited because he's got the ability to fight all those guys at welterweight.
And last question, just to kind of talk again about the talent here. This is Jeff Zimmerman with FightNews.com here in Dallas with Eric Gomez, president of Golden Boy Promotions. Who do you look to kind of have a breakthrough? I mean, Virgil is already on that move. You got a guy by the name of Tristan Calcreek fighting tomorrow night.
Yes.
You got Franco who got a title, you know, kind of going through a trilogy thing, it looks like, with Maloney. But who looks in your stable to kind of have a breakout year in 2021?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of kids. There's a lot of them. I mean, it's been a tough year because of COVID. Everybody's, you know, they're chomping at the bit to get out and fight and showcase their abilities. So we got a lot of young kids that are very, very good, very exciting. One of the champions is Jojo Diaz, who wants to unify titles. You know, that's a possibility with him having a big year. I see him having some really interesting fights this year. You have a kid like Rashidi Alice that we represent, who's undefeated welterweight as well. Mm-hmm. He's a very exciting fighter. So there's a lot of kids out there that are excited to be back and put this whole 2020 behind us,
right, and
really come out and showcase who they are and what their ability is.
And even though you guys split from Canelo, it sounds like the cupboard is full, going back to the recruiting back in 2016 when you guys had to do it back then based on, you know, situations, you know, with Al Heyman, et cetera. Yeah. How excited are you, you know, even without Canelo, moving forward?
We're excited. I mean, we feel very confident in our ability to build world champions, and that's what we're doing. I mean, you can see it on Saturday night. I mean, we have 3 world title fights, so there's always going to be some great talent out there. You got to go out and find them, and then you have to cultivate. You have to bring them up correctly.
And last thing, I know I said that, Eric, but one last thing. Does that, without Canelo though, does that open opportunities because so much focus was on Canelo with the promotion?
You know what? It makes us hungrier as a company. It makes us as a promotional boxing company. It makes us want to work harder and build 5, 6, 10 Canelos, and that's what we're doing.
Awesome, Eric. Always appreciate the time. Jeff Zimmerman, FightNews.com.
Thank you.